It is wisdom to see pain in process and yet accept the process while bearing the pain. God told me that every forging is always in the furnace. There is no forging outside the furnace. Can I say this to you? And I want you to remember this. Anytime you go through a storm, you are using that storm to build a life that no storm can shake. Anytime you go through a storm, you are using that storm. You are taking the materials from each challenge to build a formidable life that no storm can shake. The place where we read, the Bible tells us about a man and a donkey. Who is a donkey? A donkey is a burden bearer. Every minister of God is called to bear burdens. When you understand the mystery of burden, then ministry becomes easy. Every minister of God is called to bear burden. Every minister of God is called to carry burdens. But sir, nothing breaks a man's heart like when he's beaten by those he's sent to carry. A donkey that Balaam rode for years. A donkey that carried Balaam for years. This was just the first time the donkey would react for his own good, but ended up being beaten. Please follow me. Because there are so many of us under the sound of my voice. The bruise in our heart, the pain that we feel, the hurt that we feel, the disappointment that we feel. Hearts are still bleeding by reason of painful experiences from those you were sent to carry. When a donkey begins to reply you, the first instinct, when it becomes natural to talk back at a donkey. No wonder the Bible says in 1 Peter 2:16 or 2 Peter 2:16, it said the madness of the prophet. You have become mad. A donkey that has carried you for years. A man that has mentored you for years. A man that has led you for years. He said, have I done anything to you? He said, no. Are you aware that there are people fighting you that can't mention one thing you did? What have I done? They talk here, they talk here, they talk here, they talk here, they talk here. They can't place their hands on one thing that the donkey was crying, because the donkey carried the wrong individual. The donkey why? Balaam was an obstinate man whose heart was set on what he wanted to do. There are people whose heart is set on what they want, and you carry such people. There are donkeys in this place. There are ministers who are donkey, but can I shock you? It was not only Balaam that sat on the donkey. Jesus sat on the donkey. Am I communicating here? And the Bible said they dropped their garments on the ground, and Jesus began to, the donkey was walking on those garments, carried Jesus, and Jesus gave the donkey honor. Are you aware it was not Jesus that stepped on the garments? It was the donkey that stepped on the garment. Oh God, I am a donkey. May I not carry Balaam, may I carry Jesus. Oh God, I am a donkey. May I not carry those that will fight me. Oh God, I am a donkey. May I carry Jesus, not Balaam. A donkey is talking back at you, and it's normal for you to reply. When people open their mouths and begin to respond and reply to people they once called father, you know, heaven considers that. Heaven considers that as madness. Which I'm talking to somebody here. And there are some of you who have come to that point in your life where you have even time, you are now exchanging statement. Do you know Moses came to that point in his life in ministry when the people, he brought manna, they saw it. They saw dimensions of God just for water. Absence of water insult, insult, insult. And Moses stooped low and came to their level. He said, what is wrong with you, stiff-necked people? What is wrong with you? I've been here with you for too long, and there are so many of us who have come to that point. You allow people provoke you, and you get to that point, you are responding. I know what I've done for you. I know I've labored for you. I know what I did for you. I know I supported you. I know. No! Bible says, God said to Moses, speak to the rock. When you get to a point when you are pushed to a corner, speak to the rock. When you get to that point, you don't know where to turn to. All those you supported have turned their backs on you. Speak to the rock. There is a rock that is higher than I. Rock of ages, clear for me. Let me have. Courage. Betrayal is only what someone close to you can do to you. Betrayal is not done by an enemy, it's done by a friend. When man beats, I wish someone is following me today. He said, if I had a knife, where did this come from? There are people, the kind of heart. A man entered his friend's house and saw his friend beating his son. Was beating the boy, thrashing him, flogging the boy. And the man said, hey, he held up the whip. What did this boy do? He said, my son is evil. What has he done? He said, I was just telling my son that I'm going to buy a horse. And I'll keep the horse in the house. He said, my son said he will enter that horse. He will not go to school again. I kept quiet. He said he will ride the horse until the legs will break. The man said, have you bought the horse? He said, no. Why are you beating your son? To have the heart to break the leg of a horse that I have not even bought at all. There is seed of wickedness growing in him. The friend took up. He said, beat him. Riding the horse. Of course, it's your son. Belaboring the horse. But to say, why do you have the thought that the leg must break? What brought the breaking of the leg into this? He said, it's a seed of wickedness that I have to beat out of him. I wish I'm talking to somebody right now. There are people whose intention. Can I say something to you very well and clear? I want you, every one of us, to understand everything is bare and open before God. He feels what you feel. He feels the pain. Never feel used. Never feel abused. Sometimes God will take people out of your space so that you can accommodate something greater that is coming. Some persons around are choking your space, so God will take them out. Are you aware when some people walk out of your space, you now see how valueless they were, how useless they were, how valueless, how inconsequentially material? You now discover it was even what God called you to do that gave them honor. Do you know why some people are angry? Why they don't let you rest even after walking away from you? There is the pain of the glory that left. There is the pain of the glory that left. They may not say it, but there's a glory. Something left. A value left. Because if you are not that important, they would have moved on. But they can't move on. I have carried you for years. You have ridden me for years. Have I done this before? He said no. Balaam admitted it doesn't happen before. He said, why are you doing this to me? I said, if only you know that I am doing this actually for your good. I am protecting you. I am defending you. When the Bible talks about an ass or a donkey, one of the things the Bible says you must not do is to muzzle the ox that treads the corn. 1 Timothy 5:18. Don't muzzle the ox that treads the corn. If you study this, you will see several experiences of donkeys. Matthew 21 verse 3. A donkey was tied. 1 Timothy 5:18, a donkey and ass was muzzled. You know what it means to muzzle something? Ass is treading you close his mouth. I am sent to you. I labor. I struggle with you. Time for harvest. You close my mouth. I can't eat what I labored for. You know what it means to muzzle the axe? You put a lock on the mouth and you seal it. But to tread the corn, it can go ahead. To take all the prayers, it can go. There are people that have been affected and the church become too small for their thanksgiving. Proverbs 26 verse 3 talks about whipping the axe. Whipping the axe. Whipping the axe. There are many who have been whipped. Many who have been beaten. Many, but there is a response from the throne of God. Are you aware that I know you are anointed. I know there are many ministers here who are anointed. But you know there are days of spiritual low percentage. Let me show you something. The Bible said there was a man of God from Judah. The man of God just screamed at the king, and the king's hand dried up. Dried up. He came in power. And what God was doing through that man of God spread so far. But he got to a point, he sat under an oak tree. And the old prophet asked him a question. In verse 14 of 1 Kings chapter 13. Art thou the prophet? Art thou the man of God that came from Judah? Because he knows what happened when men sit under the oak tree. They are weary. They are tired. They are discouraged. He asked him, are you the man of God from Judah? Is it you that commanded a man's hand to dry up? You are now the man under the oak tree. Is it you that your fame went round for manifestation of power? You are now the one. He asked him, are you the man of God? Because I know what happens in this space. Are you the man of God that will call down fire from heaven? That's why you are in the conference now. People don't understand that the tanker that carries fuel needs fuel. The tanker that carries fuel needs fuel. And the fuel in the tanker that carries fuel does not come from the tanker with the fuel. It comes from another tanker. That is why we came. Are you the same man of God? It was the days of spiritual low percentage. When you come to that point in your life, are you aware, sir, that there are certain men that will beat their donkey? There are certain things, sir. The times in your life where you can't even pray are the times where those who you led turn their back on you. You can't pray, you can't fast, you can't study. You are just gazing to the sky. You sit under the oak tree. Under the oak tree. But God is not asleep. I said God is not asleep. God will reply every pain. God will reply every hardship. God will reply every heartache. For every pain you have felt, for every disaster you have felt, heaven will reply. Heaven will respond. There will be a response from the throne. There will be a response from the throne. There will be a response from the throne. One day, so let me laugh first. Saul was pursuing David. While he was pursuing David, one of his servants now came to him and said, please come, oh, somebody is pursuing you. First Samuel 3 from verse 25. First Samuel 23 from verse 25. Want to go? Saul also and his men went to seek him. And they told David, wherefore he came down to where? A rock, and abode in the wilderness of Mahon. And when Saul heard that, he pursued after David in the wilderness of Mahon. Verse 26. And Saul went on this side of the mountain, and David and the men went on the other side of the mountain. And David made haste to get away for fear of Saul. For Saul and his men compassed David and his men round about to take them. 27. There came a messenger unto Saul, saying, haste thee and come. The Philistines are invaded the land. Verse 28. Wherefore Saul returned from pursuing after David and went against the Philistines. And therefore they called the place Selama Lekot. This one is tongues. Verse 29. And David went up from thence and dwelt in the strongholds of Engedi. My God, can I say this to you in prophecy? Anyone pursuing you, someone will pursue them. I'm prophesying. You fed someone, you carried them for years. Now what they pay you back is to fight you, no problem. Someone that fits them, someone that is carnal like them, someone that is godless like them, someone that has no fear of God like them, will be raised to reply them, will be raised to respond to them, will be raised to reply them, will be raised to respond to them, will be raised to reply them. If your amen is louder, you are the one I'm talking to. If your amen is louder, you are the one I'm talking to. If your amen is louder, you are the one I'm talking to. Some of you think greatness is accidental. Some of you think greatness, you look at certain men who have become great in ministry, great in life. Can I say this to you? When you see men whose results you admire, be ready for the insults they acquired. Repeat. When you see men whose results you admire, be ready for the insults they acquired. Every man was forged in the furnace. If God is your choice, then furnace must be your passage. When he has tried me, I shall comfort as God. When he has tried me, I shall comfort. I am a donkey. May I not carry Balaam. May I carry Jesus. As I read through that donkey, there are certain lessons that comes my way. Kashota parata. And I ask myself a question. How did it degenerate to that point that there are people who you raised, there are people who you blessed,